Namaste, this is Pradnya and welcome back to my channel Awaken with Pradnya. Today I have specially chosen this topic: when your twin flame goes silent, what happens at your end, how you should deal with whatever is happening with you. I'm sure most of us who are on this twin flame journey have several times come across this situation where you are trying to message your twin flame and they are either ignoring you, or they are reading your messages but not replying you back, or they have blocked you on your social media, and then you are completely hurt, you are completely disappointed, devastated, suffering in pain, and literally your world is turned upside down and you don't know what to do. It literally feels like as if everything has ended and you have nowhere to go, and it is such a helpless feeling, it is such a painful feeling. If they are ignoring you, you obviously feel that they don't care about you, they don't love you. All these emotions are getting triggered inside you, and you're literally bursting out with all the negative emotions, be it fear, anger, frustration, disappointment, helplessness, doubt, loss, hurt, abandonment, rejection. All these emotions are coming up in your mind when they go silent, right? So today we are going to discuss about what exactly it is trying to teach you and how you can handle this situation when they go silent, when they ghost you, when they read your messages but they don't reply you back. Well, before I begin, all those who have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Press on the bell icon so you get notifications, because I am in the process of making more and more videos when it comes to twin flame journey and how to navigate through this journey. Apart from that, I have also started one-on-one private sessions. I have given the link below in the description. So whoever is willing to take one-on-one sessions with me can click on those links and get the information, the details. Now coming to this twin flame silence. One major point here, what I really want to stress on is that most of the people are always confused about what exactly is inner work and how they should actually do it. So let's take this twin flame silence as one of the case studies to understand how you actually do your inner work and how you start introspecting yourself when some situation is presented to you in this twin flame journey. So I'm taking this as a classic example that you have written something to your twin flame and your twin flame has not responded to you, or they have not replied to you, and you have got really angry, you are into pain. Typically what happens is that as a reaction you say something on that because they don't reply, so you start sending nasty messages to them, that something which is like a reaction to their no talk, the reaction to their silence. People who really become nagging, they are annoyed, they start sending several messages after every few minutes, so that it will really piss off the other person and eventually they will end up blocking you. And all these things are happening because you are not able to deal with this situation, that they are going silent on your messages, they are not replying you. You can't really address this fact, you are not able to deal with this situation, and that is why these things happen. But what happens is that just because your emotional burst out happened as a reaction for that particular small situation, the repercussions of that situation go really long. Like once you are actually saying something to them and they block you, you never know how many days, how many months they are going to keep you blocked. So how do you really deal with this sort of a situation? The main reason is expectation, that you have a certain expectation from your twin flame that once you are sending them a message, they should reply you back. So the origin of the whole problem is your expectation. I just expect, a smiley back or a hi back. It's not a very big expectation. So why can't somebody reply to that particular message? But I feel that this is what you think from your side. In this whole scenario, as a chaser, as a twin on a twin flame journey, what you really need to keep it in mind is that the way you are thinking from your side, you also need to learn to think from their side as well. And there are a lot of things which are happening at their end as well. And the basic thing is that the way we think as chasers, the runners are not really exactly thinking the same way. Their thought process, their pattern of thinking about this journey, about you, and how they look at their problems and the way they take their own solutions out is completely different than what you would do in your situation. This is the first thing. Secondly, the main reason why people get so upset if they don't get reply back, because they are taking everything personally. If they are not replying you, you feel that they don't reply you because they don't care about you. I mean, you really feel that it is so personal to you. They are personally rejecting you. They don't like you as a person. They don't care about you as a person. They don't love you as a person. You are taking every reaction of theirs very personally, and I think that is one of the main reasons why you get so hurt. But if you really ask me, there is nothing here which you really need to take personal, because if you really start and think about it from their side, what they are doing is just a solution to their own situation. Maybe this situation, whatever connection they have with you, is becoming overwhelming for them. They don't know how to handle this situation. They don't know what to answer you. There are a lot of times the chasers are asking a lot of questions to their twin flame, right? When do you want to talk, or when can we meet, or whatever xyz questions. Many a times they are so confused that they don't have answers to your questions. Even though they want to be with you, they don't want to hurt you intentionally, just because they don't have that resolve in their mind because of whatever situation. Maybe they are married to somebody else, or they have some guilt feeling, or there is some unresolved issue in their mind. Because of whatever reasons at their end, they are not having a particular answer to give you. And just because they don't have that answer, they prefer to remain silent. And I feel, as I have also written in one of my answers, that being silent is a great response. It's a very powerful response. And why I say that, because when somebody is remaining silent, it has got two sides of the same coin. Being silent is not that type of a bad news as you think it is. They are silent, that means they want that space. They are still resolving few things in their mind. They don't know what to say, and that is why they prefer to be silent. As you're getting upset that they are not replying you, you also need to see the other side, that they are not even telling you to go. I mean, there are so many runners who are reading your messages, not replying you back, but they are not blocking you. They are still reading your messages. Somebody would just say that, please don't send me any message, and I don't want to speak to you ever hereafter. But does that really happen? No. Or even if it happens, it would happen for a brief period of time, and again you will be unblocked for some unknown reason. When I was in the initial period in my own journey, when my twin flame was giving me a silent treatment, I used to literally get devastated. I used to literally be in a state of devastation. I used to really take months to come to normal if one incident happened like that. I used to get in extreme grief, extreme pain, extreme sadness, extreme anger. I used to have self doubt. I used to struggle with my self worth, my self respect. I used to have this fear of rejection. I used to have this fear of losing him. This I'm talking particularly about inner work. When I started introspecting, I could identify that every time I'm messaging him and he chooses to be silent, there is a great emotional turmoil inside me. And why this is happening? Because I'm taking things personally. I'm behaving in a very temperamental manner. Maybe he's not replying me because he's not yet ready, or maybe he's dealing with some situations at his end, and that is why maybe he's not replying to me. So, somewhere as I progressed in my journey, and these things obviously repeatedly happened in my journey, that I sent a message and he did not reply, slowly, gradually, I could observe in myself that my reactions improved because I was introspecting. I was aware that I'm having so many insecurities around me, like fear, abandonment, rejection, or expectation, doubt. So I had understood that I really need to work on my expectation. And the day I started working on my expectation, when there was another phase when he again went silent on me, I could react to his silence in a much better way. Here, I particularly want to explain about response and reaction. Most of the time, we are reacting out of our emotional burst out. If you really take this scenario that there is a boy who appears for an exam and fails in that exam. So, scenario one is his reaction, that he's reacting out of his emotional burst out. So, he goes to some public place, drinks a lot, and makes a scene out of it. Scenario two is the same boy introspects and he realizes that there is something wrong in his studies. So he decides to meet his professor and tries to understand what exactly is going wrong in his studies so that he can make things better in his next exam. This is the response. Okay, so response would always come with a great introspection. Reaction is just an immediate emotional burst out. So in this particular scenario, when your twin flame goes silent, you really have to introspect, and instead of reacting emotionally and getting into a deep pain and suffering, you start shifting towards responding to that situation. And how you would respond to this situation is by introspecting what all emotions you are going through. But as I started introspecting and shifting myself with that awareness that I have to work on emotional weakness of me, somewhere I started getting into the zone of disappointment. There was a lot of expectation which did not get fulfilled. But I used to still be better. I was not getting devastated and be down for months. So I was not really at the best place, but I was slowly getting there. So my emotional state changed from being devastated to being disappointed. I had worked on my emotions and I was doing way better than before. Somewhere I was also coming to this state of realization that even if he's silent, he is also progressing and he is also dealing with some situations at his end. And just as a solution to cope up with his own life, he's not answering me. He's wanting to buy that space. He's wanting to buy that time. And the day I started realizing that, I was in the state of realization that it's okay. I could empathize with him. I could imagine what kind of state he must be in. I was willing to accept that it is okay if he does not reply to me. I can still send him a message and be completely okay if he does not reply me back. So I came in the state of realization. And then when I progressed slowly, even more in this state, I came to a state of inner knowing that even if he does not reply me, he does love me. He does not want to ignore me, but there is a certain situation in his life which is making him not reply at that particular time. And then afterwards, whenever such times came in our journey, when I was the only one who was writing and he was the one who used to just read those messages and did not reply to my messages, it didn't even strike me anymore. I was very, very fine with it, that okay, he's reading my messages, he's not replying me, that's okay. There was some sort of a comfort level and there was some sort of an understanding that it's okay if he does not reply. So if I really look at this whole process internally, which I progressed through, it was coming from the state of devastation, anger, pain, grief, disappointment, helplessness, realization, inner knowing, and then inner peace. So this was a journey. This was an internal journey when I started introspecting, when my twin flame did not reply me. So I feel that his silence has taught me so much in this whole journey. It has really triggered my self growth. It has triggered my self introspection. And this is what I really mean when I say that you need to respond. What I have done is I have responded to his silence. I chose to introspect myself, and I chose to overcome my emotional weaknesses so that I could reach to a place, because I cannot control his life. I cannot control the way he would react, right? But I can control what I can do. So if I'm introspecting and I'm able to reach to a place where whether he replies to me or doesn't reply to me does not make any difference to me anymore, and it does not really trigger my emotional state in a negative way, I have arrived at some place. So the silence of my twin flame, what it has really taught me so far is that I need to override my doubts. I need to let go my logic. I need not start concluding things immediately, because many a times it happens that they don't reply and then you start concluding things really immediately, that oh, he's not replying, that means he's ignoring me, or maybe he's talking to somebody else, or maybe he's dating somebody else. There is so much rush you have when you want to conclude that why they are not responding. Arriving to conclusions too early is also one of the very big blocks when it comes to dealing with the silence of your twin flame. You don't have to react in a very temperamental way, and you need to understand that why they are not replying you may be having some sort of personal reasons which are coming from their own life situations, from their karmic partners or their parents, society, financial problems. You don't know what it is. So you cannot really imagine what they are going through, and you cannot really conclude anything without knowing what they are going through. Another very big lesson I have learned in this whole thing through my journey is that they will never want to hurt you intentionally, and they are not doing this, not replying you to hurt you in any way. They are just doing this because they want to sort something at their end and they are not able to answer you particularly at that time. So if you really want to learn from this whole scenario, is that you have to develop your patience. You have to learn to trust your twin flame. You have to trust yourself. With my awareness, when I started responding to these situations which were arising, and the way I started becoming aware of how I was reacting, and the way I started getting more into balanced state when it comes to my emotions, the energies between us started improving. The kind of energies I was knowingly or unknowingly sending towards him were improving day by day. So naturally, our unsaid communication, which was happening in silence, also started improving. As I started improving, I could also feel the shift in the energy which was there in between us. You might ask that, okay, I'm doing inner work, how is it changing the outer scenario, right? If you are not getting a reply, you are not getting a reply. So how would you really answer that? As you are shifting internally, you are also shifting things externally in the physical. Your internal change is also going to reflect into your outer world or outer existence. I hope that this video helps those who are right now really feeling pain of separation just because their twin flame has gone silent on them. So don't worry, this is just a phase when the twin flame runner is silent. Give them their space, give them the time to process internally, and they would definitely someday reply. So I hope that this video made sense to you, and see you in the next video.